Does GRE Vocabulary have you feeling something like this? Sounds like you need to up your flashcard game, friend. Hey friends, I'm Mason. I'm a GRE expert here at Magoosh, and in this video, I'm going to show you how you can take flashcards and use them to make learning vocabulary for the GRE way more effective and way more fun. Plus, I'm going to show you some slick applications that you can use to start your preparation today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. So let's dive right in. The first question you might ask is, why use flashcards and not like a dictionary? The GRE is notorious for obscure and stuffy vocabulary. In a way, it's what makes the GRE different than any other standardized test. So you might be thinking thoughts like, this means I'm going to have my nose stuck in a dictionary for the next year trying to learn these big words. Trust me, that approach is going to be both miserable and totally ineffective. Using a set of GRE flashcards from a reputable test company is a much better way to go. First of all, these companies have spent years studying the test and they know which words tend to show up again and again. Plus, they've already built platforms for you so that you can get started today without having to create your own. Later in this video, I'm going to highlight and demonstrate our Magoosh GRE Flashcard app and our GRE Vocabulary Builder app. Why? Well, because I think they're awesome. They're easy to use, you can use them on your phone when you're out and about, and best of all, they make learning vocabulary both effective and feel way more fun and more manageable. Oh, I forgot to mention, did you know that they're free? Yeah, both of these apps are totally, absolutely free for Magoosh students and non-Magoosh students alike. But first, let's kick it old school. Before demonstrating our sleek and sophisticated apps, I want to call out right away that there is nothing wrong with good old-fashioned pen and paper flashcards. In fact, studies have shown that the physical action of writing a word and its definition on a piece of paper helps both stick in your brain more quickly and for a longer duration. So, if you're more of a tactile learner who learns better from holding physical flashcards, I say go for it. If you are that person, I have 3 quick tips for you to make the absolute most out of your flashcards. Number 1, pull your words from practice problems and especially from ETS. A common question I get as a tutor is, where do I even find these vocabulary words? The truth is, you should be keeping your eyes and ears open at all times for new vocabulary words. Take them from news articles, books, TV shows, movies, podcasts, Snapple lids, fortune cookies, wherever. There is no bad place to learn new words. That being said, practice problems and practice tests from reputable companies such as Magoosh, Manhattan, and especially ETS should be your primary resources for getting new words. Because think about it, if a word popped up in a practice problem or practice test, then it stands to reason there's a pretty good chance it could show up on your official test as well. So those should be your go-to places for looking for high-frequency GRE vocabulary words. Number 2, make sure to add a memorable example sentence to your flashcard. It's very common while using flashcards to get fixated on just learning the word and its definition. Now that can work for some people, but if you're anything like me, and for every one new thing that you cram into your brain, 3 old things fall out, it might be a good idea to add some kind of memorable example sentence to your flashcard. Well, how does that work? Well, first, you will gain knowledge of how that word is used appropriately in context, which is hugely helpful. And second, making some kind of memorable example sentence will help that word stick in your brain in a lasting way. I strongly recommend having some fun with this. Make that example sentence wacky, zany, whatever. That way, when you see that word in the future, maybe on a test, your brain has some kind of strange or funny situation to attach to it. Here's an example. Let's take the word panache, which means flamboyant confidence of style or manner. Now here's an example sentence. Cameron, with his typical panache, strolled into the wedding hall wearing an enormous green top hat and carrying a cane. Just try to forget the word panache after that kind of vivid image. I dare you. Hopefully in the future, you're going to see that word and imagine me with a very big green top hat and a cane. This is a strategy that's both going to help those words stick, and I promise you, it's going to make this whole learning vocabulary thing way more fun. That brings us to number 3. Let someone else be in charge of the deck of cards. It's easy when we're by ourselves, flipping through flashcards to think like, yeah, this is easy, I got this. I know these words like the back of my hand. Oh, where did that scar come from? But when we give someone else the flashcard deck and ask them to quiz us, oftentimes that experience can look and feel a little bit more like this.
Anathema. It's, I know what this means. We both know it. It's where the guy in the, is it like an ant, like a theme, like an ant theme. I can't do this.
It's okay for this to happen to you in front of your friends or your partner or your roommates, but don't let it happen to you on the GRE. So give someone else the reins, have them hold the deck and quiz you, because that's the truest test as to how deep these words are really sinking in. All right, that's a wrap on our old school tips and techniques. Let's dive into some space-age flashcard technology with our Magoosh GRE Vocabulary Flashcard app. But real quick, did you know that on Wednesdays, we have our resident GRE vocabulary wizard, Chris Lele, teach you some brand new vocabulary words? We call it Vocabulary Wednesdays, and I personally look forward to it every single week. Check out this video so that you can take a sip from Chris's deep well of vocabulary knowledge. How to use the Magoosh GRE Vocabulary Flashcard app.
Whoa, I got shrunk down to this weird little bubble, but no worries, I'm good. Let me show you our GRE Vocabulary Flashcard app. So if you're a Magoosh student, this is going to be super simple. You go to your dashboard, you go to the Resources tab at the top, you click it, and boom, Vocabulary Flashcards. Let's start there. If you're not a Magoosh student, no worries. Again, these apps are free for everyone. So go to the App Store or Google Play Store, wherever you get your apps from, you can find us there. But we're going to start studying online. So you open this up. What's going to open? Well, we have all these different decks. Cool. So we have common word decks. We have basic word decks. We have our advanced word decks. All told, there are 18 decks here, each with 50 words. So that's 900 words right at your fingertips. For most students, you should be concentrating your effort on these common word decks because these are words that commonly appear on the GRE. So they're higher frequency, which means you have a higher chance of seeing them. So make sure you spend your time here first, especially if you're going for an average GRE verbal score. That's probably going to be sufficient. After you have those completely nailed, then yeah, dive into the basic decks, dive into the advanced decks. Those are going to contain some useful words too, but again, only once you have those initial decks down. Let's pop one of these open. So imagine I'm going to start at square one, common words 1. I'm going to open this. It's going to open a word. Boom, impertinent. Okay, and this is where you are. You can see these 3 different categories, right? You're learning words gradually. And I'm going to look at this word and I'm going to think, do I know the meaning here? I don't really know. Okay, so I'm going to click to see the meaning. It's going to flip it. And this is what shows up. We have the word. We have the part of speech, adjective. We have the definition, of course, fantastic. We have something else really important. We have this great example sentence about Dexter being distraught about losing his pet dachshund, okay? These are gold. You have to be reading these example sentences. It's going to help these words stick. And then you have to, this is an honesty time. Did you know this word or did you not know this word? If you knew it, it's either going to go into the reviewing category or master category. If you didn't know it, it's going to go into the learning category because it's going to show you it again and again until you do have it mastered. So again, let's say, I didn't know this word. Boom, no worries. It's going to show up again later, and I'm going to try out ambivalent. So this requires a lot of honest self-reporting, okay? And you're supposed to be able to come up with the definition before you flip that card over and then see if you were right. That's basically it, right? As you move through, you're going to master each deck, go through and open a new deck, okay? You can also go through and practice old decks as well. That's totally fine. So this is the Vocabulary Flashcard app on your desktop. It looks and feels exactly the same way on your phone. Check out both. They're both amazing resources for you to use at home and on the go. This is a great place to get you started.
So there you have it, folks. keep in mind that you should be focusing your attention on those common decks because they are more frequent, and then work your way to those basic and advanced decks. Keep in mind also, you might have to go through these decks a few times for those words to really sink in. Plus, keep this statistic in mind. Most adults can learn somewhere between 15 and 20 brand new words a day. Maybe you can do more than that, maybe less, but that's a great pace to start at and see how it goes. Now let's dive into our Vocabulary Builder app so I can showcase some features designed to help you keep those hard-won words.
Again, if you're a Magoosh student, this is going to be simple. You go to your dashboard, you jump up to Resources, boom, Vocabulary Builder. Let's check that out. And once again, if you're not a Magoosh student, don't sweat it. You can get that app from any of these places. But we're going to start quizzing ourselves here online. So you're going to open it up. You've got these 3 levels. It's kind of like the flashcards. We've got basic, intermediate, advanced words. Let's start with the basic words. Each one's going to have different levels, right? So we have 7 levels here. Let's start with basic level 1. It's just going to show you a word. And in this case, we have some answer choices. These are basically synonyms for this word. And you always have this 5th option of, I don't know, I'm not sure, okay? So always report honestly. If you're actually not sure, then don't guess. Just say, hey, I'm not sure. So anomaly, let's say, I don't remember. I'm not sure. That's fine. It's going to recycle that word until you can master it. So it's going to give us the correct answer, which is oddity, and another example sentence. Again, those example sentences are gold. Read them, internalize them, imagine them, because they're going to help that word stick. After Sally found an anomaly in the data, she had to redo the entire experiment. Oh, so this is a situation where we'd use this word when talking about data. Cool. So I'm going to go on to the next word. Same thing. It's going to give me a bunch of answer choices. So it's more like a quiz. It doesn't require quite as much self-reporting as the Flashcard app, which is super cool. So this is another way, I think, to submit your understanding after you've worked on these words in the Flashcard app. Come over here and see if they pop up in these basic or intermediate levels. Another really cool feature on the mobile app is you can actually play this as a game competing against other users. So it's going to put both of you together and pit you against each other to see who can get the most right answers in a row. It's a great way to just make this more fun and less isolating than just studying these words by ourselves. So that's it. That is the Builder app. It's a great way to quiz yourself and make sure you are retaining the words you're getting from the Flashcard app.
Just a reminder again that both of these apps are completely free. So get yours today. Use it when you're riding on the bus, waiting in line at your favorite coffee shop, wherever. They will go where you go. Lastly, I have one huge, colossal, unspeakably humongous pro tip for all of you who are trying to learn vocabulary with flashcards. Use it or lose it. The most intimidating part about mastering a new word is actually using it. It's natural to feel afraid at first of using these sophisticated vocabulary words because we're afraid of messing up, right? Maybe we use it in the wrong context, or we misspell it, or we just didn't precisely know what it means. But you know what? That's just life, friends. My pitch to all of you is to be brave. Look for opportunities in your daily life to use these words, whether it be in texts, emails, dinner party conversations, to random strangers, whatever. Because I promise you, if you use the word even once, your brain is going to hang on to it so that it can use it again. And if anyone ever gives you a hard time about using a sophisticated word or messing it up a little bit, just explain to them in a leisurely and meticulous fashion that you are endeavoring to assimilate a cornucopia of novel terms, or just tell them that you're studying for the GRE and this is going to help you. That's probably a better way to keep those relationships intact. We have so many outstanding videos on vocabulary words that we've put together an entire playlist for you. So check that out after this video so that you can keep going on your epic vocabulary quest. I'm Mason, a GRE expert at Magoosh, and I am here to get nerdy about words with you. So subscribe to this channel, drop a comment below, or better yet, drop a comment using one of your new vocabulary words. Grab that deck of flashcards and enjoy the ride.